The earth was quiet that morning. Cities hummed with life. Skyscrapers glinted in the sunlight. People walked the streets, drank coffee, and talked about their everyday problems. Life felt normal, peaceful even. No one expected that the calm would end in minutes. High above, in orbit, satellites silently scanned the skies. They watched for asteroids, storms, and signs of danger. Among them, a few military satellites tracked strange signals far beyond the solar system. The signals were faint, almost undetectable, but they hinted at something big, something that no one on Earth would understand in time. Down on the ground, the world's leaders were having meetings. Scientists, generals, and politicians gathered in secure bunkers. They spoke quietly about global security and space exploration. Earth had advanced technology now. Space stations orbited the planet. Defense satellites hovered like guardians, and humanity had built warships in secret. But no one believed they would need them. Then, the alarms went off. Every screen in every major city flickered. Emergency. Broadcast began. Attention, attention! Multiple unidentified objects are approaching Earth's atmosphere. Evacuation protocols are now in effect. Repeat, evacuation protocols are in effect. People froze. Cars stopped. Phones rang endlessly. Panic spread in seconds. In the command center under New York, General Marcus Hale stood over the large map of Earth and the incoming trajectories. His face was hard, calm, but his eyes betrayed concern. Missiles. They're missiles, he said. His voice was steady, but the tension in the room was thick. Dr. Lena Ortiz, a top scientist at the Orbital Defense Lab, checked her instruments. 12, exactly 12, she said, pointing at the screens. They are heading straight for Earth. We have minutes before impact. These aren't ordinary weapons. The energy signatures are beyond anything we've seen. Marcus looked at her. Who would do this? Why now? Lena shook her head. I don't know, but whoever fired these, they underestimate us. Across the Atlantic in London, civilians watched the news on big screens. Families held their children close. It's just a test, right? A man asked, hoping someone would lie. But deep down, everyone knew it wasn't a test. The missiles entered the atmosphere. Bright streaks of light cut through the clouds like burning comets. Panic turned to chaos in cities. People ran toward shelters. Governments activated every defense system they had. Laser arrays, energy shields, and missile interceptors all fired at once. On the first missile, Earth's defenses worked, but only partially. It struck a city in the Pacific, destroying part of it. The death toll was high, but not as catastrophic as expected. Humanity survived the first blow. Across the planet, similar scenes played out. The people were terrified, but the survivors also felt something else, shock and anger. No one had attacked Earth in hundreds of years. And now, 12 missiles, 12 deadly missiles, were fired at their home. In orbit, the humans watched the missiles closely. The orbital defense warships, hidden in shadow to avoid being detected, were activated. Each ship had advanced weapons hidden for decades, but now their time had come. The commanders communicated with Earth's leaders in real time. This is Commander Riker of the Orbital Fleet, a voice said through secure channels. We're online. The missiles will be intercepted. We are ready to respond. On the ground, General Marcus made a difficult decision. Evacuate the cities that are in direct paths. Activate the emergency protocols everywhere else. And Lena, prepare the countermeasures. We are not just going to defend. We are going to fight back. Lena nodded. She already had plans. For years, she had studied alien technology from fragments recovered in deep space. Humanity never expected to use them until now. Minutes passed. The next missile streaked toward Earth. This time, human weapons hit it precisely. It exploded in the sky, breaking apart into harmless fragments. People on the streets cheered, unsure if the missile fragments would reach them. Humanity had defended its first strike, but the relief was brief. 11 more missiles approached. Each one was faster, smarter, and stronger. The Vorath, the alien empire responsible for the attack, had calculated everything. They thought humans would panic, surrender, and beg for mercy. They were wrong. From New York to Tokyo, humans worked together. Engineers repaired defense systems in record time. Soldiers and civilians helped wherever they could. Humanity had learned something long ago. In the face of danger, they survived and adapted. Fear did not stop them. In the orbital command, Commander Riker studied the incoming missiles. "We can intercept 7 more," he said. "The remaining 5, and we'll need another plan." Lena looked at the data. "We can use their energy signatures against them. If we can redirect the missiles mid-flight, we can destroy them without risking more lives. But it's risky." Marcus made a firm decision. "Do it. Humanity doesn't back down. Not today. Not ever." And so Lena and her team began working on the impossible. Satellites adjusted, weapons systems recalibrated, and the missiles flew closer. The tension was unbearable. Every second counted. Meanwhile, the aliens watched from light years away. They expected Earth to crumble. Their calculations predicted fear, surrender, and chaos. But instead, they saw something they did not anticipate: humans fighting with courage, intelligence, and unity. Back on Earth, ordinary people became heroes. A young engineer in Paris repaired a damaged energy shield in minutes, saving thousands. A soldier in Moscow directed traffic away from a blast zone, guiding civilians to safety. Even children, though frightened, helped their families follow emergency protocols. When the 3rd missile approached, it exploded harmlessly above the Atlantic. Cheers erupted from the surviving population. Humanity was fighting back, and winning. General Marcus looked at Lena. "They will keep coming. We have to be ready for everything." Lena nodded. "We will. We can't stop now. This is only the beginning." As the last missiles approached, a strange realization spread among humans. This attack was not just a threat. It was a challenge. The aliens wanted to test them, to see if Earth could be conquered. But humans did not surrender. They adapted, fought back, and prepared to unleash their full strength. In secret bunkers, on hidden warships, and in cities across the world, humanity's leaders planned the next step. The attack had united the planet like nothing else ever had. Fear had turned into determination, and anger had become purpose. By the time the final missile was intercepted, the message was clear: humans were not weak. Humans were not afraid. And those who dared attack Earth would face consequences they could not imagine. High above the planet, satellites recorded the destruction of the last missile. Commander Riker spoke to the leaders on Earth. "All missiles destroyed. Earth is safe, for now. But we need to prepare for retaliation. The aliens will not stop." Marcus looked out at the horizon, where the sun was rising over the cities. "Then let them come," he said quietly. "Let them see the wrath of humanity." Across the world, people who survived the first attack looked up at the sky. They were scared, yes, but also proud. For the first time, they felt the power of unity, courage, and resilience. Humanity had survived the impossible. Humanity had proven it would fight, no matter what. The first attack had passed. The 12 missiles were destroyed. Cities were damaged, but most people had survived. Humanity breathed, even if briefly. But the leaders knew the danger had not ended. The aliens, the Vorath, had fired those missiles for a reason. And that reason was not over. In New York, General Marcus Hale paced the command center. He was tired, but exhaustion did not stop him. Around him, officers and scientists worked tirelessly. Screens showed the world's cities, orbital, satellites, and distant sectors of space. Every piece of information was monitored. "They will strike again," Marcus said. His voice was low, calm, but firm. "And next time we must be ready to respond, not just defend." Dr. Lena Ortiz, still at her console, nodded. "We've seen their technology. We've captured fragments from the missiles. If we work fast, we can reverse engineer some of it. It won't be easy, but it is possible. Marcus gave a sharp nod. Do it. Gather every engineer, scientist, and specialist we can. Earth is not a place for fear. Earth is a place for action. Across the world, the message was the same. Leaders broadcasted announcements. Humanity must unite. Every citizen has a role. Together we survive, together we fight. In London, engineers repaired defense systems damaged by the missile strikes. Children helped carry supplies to shelters. Volunteers worked in hospitals to treat the injured. Humanity had always been resourceful, but now, under threat, that resourcefulness became unstoppable. In orbit, Commander Riker's fleet hovered silently, hidden from view. The warships, once secret, now became the front line of humanity's response. Each ship was equipped with weapons designed for defense, but now they would be adapted for offense. "This is Riker," he said, speaking to Earth Command. "We are ready to move. We can strike at the source if we have coordinates. But we need a plan that ensures Earth safety first." Marcus nodded. "We will not rush, but we will act. Humanity's strength is not just in weapons. It is in strategy, courage, and unity. Let's show them that." In Moscow, a young pilot named Anya Petrov prepared for her first mission. She was only 22, but years of training had prepared her for moments like this. Her hands trembled slightly as she checked the ship's systems. Outside, civilians cheered as military aircraft took off. Humanity was ready to fight, not out of hatred, but out of survival. Meanwhile, the Vorath observed. Light years away in their command centers, their leaders were frustrated. "How is this possible?" one Vorath commander growled. "They should have fallen. They should have begged for mercy." "They are humans," another replied. "Do not underestimate them again. They have resilience, intelligence, and courage. We cannot predict their actions." Back on Earth, humanity worked in silence and in chaos. Scientists experimented with alien technology fragments, discovering ways to repurpose energy sources from the missiles. Engineers adapted old satellites to act as mobile defense systems. Soldiers trained civilians in emergency protocols. Every person had a role. Every action mattered. In Tokyo, a team of young engineers completed a breakthrough. They managed to reconfigure a missile interceptor to not just destroy, but to redirect. If they could hit a Vorath ship or base, they could strike back. It was risky, but humanity had never backed down from risks. Dr. Ortiz watched the calculations on the screen. "If we fire this at their command vessels, we can disable them without mass casualties. It's a warning, a statement. Humanity is not afraid to respond." Marcus looked at the screen. "Do it. Let them know that Earth is not a target. Earth is a force." The first counterstrike was launched. Repurposed missile fragments flew through space, hitting a Vorath scouting ship near the outer rim of their territory. The explosion was precise, and the ship was destroyed before it could return to report. The Vorath were stunned. "How did they reach us?" their commander demanded. "They should not have the capability to strike at us." "They adapt quickly," another Vorath said. "Humans are unpredictable. This is dangerous." On Earth, the news of the counterstrike spread quickly. Civilians celebrated cautiously. Humanity had struck back, not out of revenge, but to survive. The message was clear: attack Earth again, and humanity would fight. In orbit, Riker's fleet prepared for the next stage. Humans were no longer just defending. They were becoming hunters. Warships that had been hidden in shadow now moved with precision, targeting Vorath supply routes and communication satellites. Each mission was carefully planned, each action calculated. Humanity's ingenuity shone. Across the Pacific, a young technician named Taro adjusted a shield generator in record time. "We can hold them," he said to his team. "We can survive, and we can make them pay if they try again." In New York, Marcus addressed the command staff. "Humanity has a choice. We can sit and wait for the next attack, or we can unite and fight back. Every nation, every person, every soldier has a role. Today, we show the galaxy what humans are capable of." Volunteers from every nation joined the effort. Factories worked. around the clock to produce weapons, energy shields, and supplies. Scientists in labs created new strategies to outsmart the Vorath. Soldiers trained relentlessly, not just in combat but in teamwork, in thinking, and in courage. Even civilians contributed. Children learned emergency drills. Families built shelters. Citizens created communication networks. Humanity's strength was not in one group, one army, or one country. It was in unity. In orbit, Riker's fleet spotted another Vorath ship. "It's moving fast," he said. "They're testing our defenses." Lena analyzed the data. "We can predict its path, but it's intelligent. It adjusts. We need to be clever." Marcus made the decision. "We'll use the satellites to guide a countermeasure. Humans are clever. Let's show them." The maneuver worked. The Vorath ship was disabled, forced to retreat. Humanity had not just survived. They had won a small victory. Across Earth, the mood shifted. People were still scared, but they were no longer helpless. Humans realized something important. Fear was not weakness. Courage was not the absence of fear. Humanity's strength was unity, creativity, and resolve. In Moscow, Anya Petrov returned from her first mission. She had not only flown her ship but guided civilians in orbital evacuation drills. Her small victory was celebrated quietly, but the significance was immense. Every person who acted bravely, every person who worked tirelessly, contributed to the growing force of humanity. Meanwhile, the Vorath tried to plan their next strike, but every move they made was anticipated. Humans had adapted faster than anyone could imagine. They did not just respond, they innovated. They did not just defend, they prepared to strike. On Earth, in the war room under New York, Marcus and Lena stood side by side. "They thought they could scare us," Marcus said. "They thought fear would stop humanity. They were wrong." Lena nodded. "We can fight back, and we will. But we need to be ready for anything. They will not stop." Marcus looked at the map of Earth, then at the stars. "Let them come. Let them see humanity united. Let them see our wrath." In secret bunkers, in factories, in labs, and in cities, humans prepared. They were no longer just survivors. They were strategists, inventors, pilots, soldiers, and leaders. They were united, and they were ready. The night skies over Earth were alive with activity. Satellites blinked, warships maneuvered, and communication channels buzzed with constant updates. Humanity was no longer just defending, it was preparing to strike. Every city, every factory, every laboratory contributed to one goal: to make sure the Vorath would never underestimate humans again. Commander Riker's fleet had moved closer to Vorath territory. Hidden warships now patrolled space lanes, scanning for enemy vessels. Each ship was a fortress equipped with weapons that could destroy entire squadrons. Humanity had waited long for this moment. They would not waste it. In the command center under New York, General Marcus Hale watched the live feed. His eyes moved rapidly between screens showing Earth, the orbital fleet, and Vorath positions. "We have them," he said quietly, almost to himself. "And they don't even know it yet." Dr. Lena Ortiz leaned over his shoulder. "We've studied their signals, their ships, their patterns. They are predictable, in a way humans can use. We can strike with precision. One move, one strike, and we can cripple them." Marcus nodded. "Then let's do it. Humanity does not wait for luck. Humanity takes action." Across Earth, humans were ready. Engineers in Berlin and Shanghai worked day and night, repairing drones and warships damaged in earlier encounters. Pilots trained relentlessly, not just to fly, but to think creatively in battle. Civilians in factories produced supplies, weapons, and equipment at speeds that shocked even their own leaders. Humanity had become a single, united force. In orbit, Commander Riker prepared his first offensive strike. "We will target their supply routes first," he said. "Cut off their communication and reinforcements. Make them realize that no one attacks Earth and escapes unpunished." Young pilot Anya Petrov strapped herself into her fighter. Her hands shook slightly, but determination burned in her eyes. "We are not just defending," she whispered to herself. We are showing them what humans can do. The first mission launched. Humanity's fleet moved like a predator in the night. Ships that had once remained hidden now emerged, silent but deadly. Missiles, drones, and laser arrays were carefully directed to Vorath supply convoys. Humans did not just attack, they outsmarted their enemies. A Vorath scout ship, expecting a slow response, flew into an ambush. Humans had calculated its trajectory, using repurposed alien energy from the first missile fragments. The scout exploded before it could send a warning signal. On Earth, technicians cheered silently, knowing every small victory counted. The Vorath were stunned. "How?" one commander muttered. "These humans, they adapt too quickly." "They are not like other species," another replied. "They do not fear, they do not surrender. They are dangerous." Back on Earth, humanity celebrated the victories quietly. They knew this was only the beginning. Every destroyed ship, every intercepted signal, every successful maneuver strengthened their confidence. Humans were not just survivors. They were hunters now. In Moscow, Anya guided a squadron through a narrow asteroid field. Vorath ships pursued them, thinking humans would panic. Instead, humans used the terrain to their advantage. Fighters weaved between rocks, lasers firing precisely. A Vorath destroyer too large to maneuver became an easy target. Explosions lit the dark space and the humans emerged victorious. Commander Riker watched the feed from orbit. "They are learning fast," he said. "And they are fearless. This is more than strategy. This is instinct. Humanity fights with everything they have, and more." In laboratories across Earth, Lena Ortiz and her team worked on new weapons. Using Vorath energy technology, they created drones that could mimic enemy ships, confuse their sensors, and strike with deadly accuracy. The human mind had turned alien weapons into tools of survival and vengeance. Meanwhile, Vorath leaders panicked. Their fleets had underestimated humans. Their calculations had been precise, until now. Every move they made was anticipated, every strike countered. Humans were unpredictable, relentless, and clever. In Tokyo, a group of engineers successfully launched a drone fleet designed to mimic Vorath vessels. The drones created chaos in enemy ranks, allowing humans to take out supply, ships and communication satellites with minimal risk. It was a small victory, but a significant one. The message was clear. Earth was no longer defenseless. On Earth, civilians continued their work. Families in New York and Berlin repaired buildings damaged in earlier attacks. Children helped pack emergency supplies. Volunteers worked in hospitals. Every human contributed, from the youngest to the oldest. The planet itself had become a weapon, united, smart, and unstoppable. In orbit, Riker's fleet encountered a Vorath warship larger than any human ship in history. Its weapons were devastating, its shields nearly impenetrable. But humans did not hesitate. Using intelligence gathered from previous encounters, Riker orchestrated a complex maneuver. Smaller fighters distracted the Vorath vessel while drones attacked its energy cores. Explosions rocked space. The massive ship slowed, then drifted helplessly. Humans had triumphed once again. General Marcus watched the battle unfold on the command center screens. "They thought they were invincible," he said. "But they forgot one thing. Humans never give up. Humans never surrender. And humans fight with everything they have." Dr. Lena Ortiz smiled. "This is only the beginning. Once we strike their command centers, they will know the cost of attacking Earth." Back on Earth, the people were inspired. News of victories spread quickly. Humanity's wrath was not blind. It was precise, calculated, and unstoppable. Citizens felt a sense of pride they had never experienced before. They were not just living. They were defending their home, their families, and their future. In space, the Vorath realized their mistake. Every attack they had planned, every calculation they had made, had been outsmarted. They had underestimated humans. And now, humans were hunting them. Commander Riker prepared the next strike. We move to their outer colonies, he said. We cut their supply lines completely. Let them see that Earth fights, and that no attack will go unanswered. Anya Petrov and her squadron prepared for the mission. Each pilot knew the risks. Every maneuver could be their last. But courage burned in their hearts. Humanity's survival depended on action, not hesitation. The mission began. Fighter squadrons weaved through space, striking Vorath supply stations. Explosions erupted and communications were disrupted. Vorath ships scrambled to respond, but humans had already anticipated their moves. Every action was countered. Every plan foiled. Back on Earth, people watched the news. Screens showed explosions and victories in distant space. Fear had turned into hope. Anger had become determination. Humanity had become more than a species. It had become a force. General Marcus addressed the command staff. They believed fear would stop us. They believed destruction would break us. They were wrong. Humanity adapts, humanity fights, humanity wins. Remember this. This is who we are. Dr. Lena Ortiz nodded. And we are only getting started. They will never underestimate us again. In orbit, Commander Riker watched the Vorath retreat. They think this is over, he said. It is only beginning. Humanity's wrath has awakened, and once it is unleashed fully, nothing will be the same. On Earth, people prepared for the next phase. Factories increased production. Engineers and scientists continued to innovate. Pilots trained relentlessly. Soldiers rehearsed strategies. Every human had a role. Every action mattered. Earth had survived. Humanity had fought back. But the war was far from over. The Vorath, shocked and frustrated, were regrouping. They had underestimated humans, and now they were paying the price. In the command center under New York, General Marcus Hale stared at the holographic map of the galaxy. Red dots indicated Vorath fleets, supply routes, and colonies. Blue dots represented human forces, small in number but precise in movement. Marcus's jaw was tight, but his eyes burned with determination. This is our moment, he said. We strike now, not just to defend but to show them they cannot threaten Earth again. Dr. Lena Ortiz stood beside him, analyzing Vorath energy signatures. Their fleets are disorganized. Their communications are disrupted. If we hit their command centers, we can cripple their operations. They will have no choice but to retreat. Across Earth, preparations were underway. Factories ran around the clock, producing energy weapons, drones, and fighter ships. Engineers repaired damaged orbital platforms and improved defensive shields. Pilots practiced complex maneuvers repeatedly, their hands steady despite fatigue. Humanity had become a single united force. Commander Riker's fleet hovered just outside Vorath territory. Hidden warships waited for orders, ready to strike. All units, prepare for coordinated attack, Riker ordered. Target their communication, hubs first. Disable their reinforcements. And remember, precision is key. We show them intelligence, not just power. In orbit, fighter pilot Anya Petrov checked her systems. Her squadron had trained for this moment. We are ready, she said, her voice calm. We strike fast, we strike smart, and we show them what humans are capable of. The first phase began. Humanity's forces hit the Vorath supply lines with pinpoint accuracy. Drones confused enemy sensors, while energy weapons disabled ships without destroying them unnecessarily. Vorath supply stations exploded in controlled demolitions, cutting off reinforcements to the front lines. On Earth, the world watched cautiously. Screens displayed real-time updates of explosions and victories. Civilians cheered quietly, knowing that humanity's wrath was not blind, it was calculated, precise, and unstoppable. The Vorath scrambled their fleets. They had expected panic, but not precision. Every move was anticipated. Every attack was countered. Their command centers were overwhelmed. Communications were disrupted. Chaos spread through their ranks. In New York, Marcus leaned over a holographic display. Now we strike their command centers, he said. We end this phase decisively. Humanity does not just survive. We dominate when needed. Dr. Ortiz nodded. Our satellites can guide drones directly into their main command hubs. It's risky, but if it succeeds, their entire strategy collapses. The drones launched. Sleek, intelligent machines slipped past Vorath defenses, exploiting weaknesses discovered in earlier encounters. They entered command stations, disabled core systems, and transmitted live feedback to human commanders. Explosions erupted as the Vorath infrastructure faltered. In orbit, Riker coordinated human warships. Focus fire on their remaining fleets, he ordered. Do not waste energy on minor targets. Precision wins this battle. Human pilots executed complex maneuvers. Fighters weaved between Vorath warships, striking critical points with laser arrays. Drones acted as decoys, confusing enemy targeting systems. Even the largest Vorath ships struggled to respond to the speed and creativity of human forces. Back on Earth, civilians continued to support the effort. Engineers repaired orbital platforms damaged in previous skirmishes. Factories produced replacement drones and fighter ships. Soldiers trained others, passing on strategies that allowed more humans to join the fight effectively. The planet itself had become a weapon. In Moscow, Anya Petrov and her squadron engaged a Vorath strike team attempting to retake supply lines. Using clever tactics, they lured the enemy into an asteroid field. Vorath ships, too large to maneuver, collided with debris or became easy targets. Humans had turned the environment into an ally. Commander Riker monitored the battle. Every move is perfect, he said. Humans are not just fighting, they are dominating strategically. They adapt faster than any simulation we've ever run. Meanwhile, the Vorath leaders panicked. How can this be? One commander hissed. Our fleets are strong, our weapons are powerful, yet they anticipate every move. They are humans, another replied. They are unlike anything we've faced. We cannot predict them. They are dangerous. The final part of the offensive began. Humanity focused on the Vorath main colony hubs. Fighter squadrons attacked with precision, disabling energy generators, command communications, and defense systems. Orbital warships provided support, using long-range weapons to disable reinforcements before they could reach the front. In New York, Marcus watched as Vorath colonies fell one by one. This is what happens when you underestimate humanity, he said. They thought they could scare us. They thought fear would break us. They were wrong. Dr. Ortiz smiled. They underestimated one thing. Humans are unstoppable when united. We fight with intelligence, courage, and creativity, and we never give up. In orbit, Anya Petrov and her squadron executed the final strike. They targeted the Vorath Central Command Station. Using precise maneuvers and coordinated drone attacks, they disabled the station completely. Communications went dark. The Vorath fleets became disorganized, their strategy collapsing entirely. The galaxy had never seen anything like it. Humans had not just defended, they had struck with skill, intelligence, and unity. Every victory was carefully calculated. Every maneuver displayed creativity that no machine or algorithm could predict. On Earth, people celebrated cautiously. Humanity had won a decisive upper hand. They had not only survived, they had shown the Vorath that Earth was a force to be reckoned with. Commander Riker addressed his fleet. We have shown them the cost of attacking Earth. They know now that humans are not weak. Humans are clever, brave, and united. But the fight is not over. We remain vigilant. Humanity's wrath has only just begun. In New York, Marcus spoke to his command staff. Today we have changed the course of this war. We have shown that humans adapt. Humans fight and humans win. But we do not rest. We continue to prepare, to strengthen, and to strike when necessary. The Vorath will never forget this day. Dr. Ortiz added, and neither will the galaxy. Humans have awakened. They have proven their strength. And now, we take the next steps, ensuring that Earth will never again be threatened without consequences. Across the planet, civilians continued their work. Factories produced more weapons. Engineers repaired damaged systems. Pilots trained relentlessly. Soldiers drilled strategies. Every human contributed, making Earth itself a fortress, a weapon, and a beacon of strength. The Vorath retreated to regroup, their fleets shattered and their command disrupted. They had learned a painful lesson. Humans were not a species to fear, but a species to respect and never to underestimate. On Earth, General Marcus Hale looked at the stars. They thought fear would stop us. They thought destruction would break us. They were wrong. Humanity fights with everything we have, and more, and the galaxy will see it. Dr. Ortiz nodded beside him. The war is not over, Marcus, but humanity has shown its power. The Vorath will think twice before attacking again, and when they do, we will be ready. In orbit, Commander Riker watched the retreating Vorath fleets. They thought they could intimidate us, he said. They were wrong. Humanity adapts. Humans fight, and humans never surrender. The galaxy has awakened to a new force, the wrath of Earth. The turning point had arrived. Humanity was no longer just defending. Humanity was asserting itself. Every victory, every strategy, every act of courage strengthened their position. The Vorath had underestimated humans, and they would pay the price for that mistake. The calm of the galaxy was gone. The storm had arrived, and humanity stood at the center, united, intelligent, and unstoppable. The galaxy had changed. Earth was no longer a planet under threat. It was a planet of power, unity, and intelligence. The Vorath, once confident in their superiority, had learned a painful lesson. Humans were not to be underestimated. Humanity's wrath had been unleashed, precise, calculated, and unstoppable. In the command center under New York, General Marcus Hale surveyed the holographic display of the galaxy. Red dots, the Vorath fleets and colonies, had been reduced drastically. Blue dots, human forces, dominated strategic positions. "This is it," Marcus said. "This is our moment to end this threat once and for all." Dr. Lena Ortiz stood beside him, her eyes scanning the data. "We can strike their central command. One move, one coordinated strike, and the Vorath will have no choice but to surrender. We've weakened them enough. Now we finish it." Marcus nodded. "Then we strike. Humanity does not stop until the threat is gone. Not for revenge, but for survival and for the future." Across Earth, the planet's population prepared for the final offensive. Engineers worked in factories producing energy weapons and drones. Pilots trained with precision, practicing maneuvers for every possible scenario. Civilians continued to support the war effort, turning cities into hubs of preparation. Humanity had become a single, united force. In orbit, Commander Riker prepared the fleet. "All units, this is the final operation. We strike the Vorath Central Command simultaneously from all directions. Precision, speed, and intelligence are key. Humanity shows them today that no one attacks Earth without consequence." Young pilot Anya Petrov checked her fighter systems. Her heart raced, but determination burned in her eyes. "This is our chance," she whispered to herself. "This is our fight for Earth, for everyone, for the future." The operation began. Humans moved like a single organism, coordinated and unstoppable. Fighter squadrons struck Vorath warships, drones disabled enemy systems, and energy weapons, disrupted communication hubs. Every maneuver was calculated, every action precise. On the Vorath homeworld, alarms blared. Commanders shouted orders, but the humans had already anticipated every move. Supply lines were cut, reinforcements destroyed, communication jammed, chaos spread through the Vorath ranks. In New York, Marcus watched as the Vorath Central Command station became the target of the final strike. Drones infiltrated the station, disabling energy generators and core systems. Human warships moved into optimal positions, ready to strike if needed. Dr. Ortiz spoke calmly but firmly. "We've done everything to minimize casualties. This is about disabling their power and command, not unnecessary destruction. Humanity fights with honor and intelligence." The strike was executed flawlessly. Explosions erupted, systems shut down, and the Vorath command structure collapsed. For the first time, their fleets moved without orders, confused and leaderless. Humanity had achieved the impossible. Commander Riker watched the result from orbit. They expected fear, surrender, and chaos, he said. Instead, they got unity, intelligence, and courage. Humanity does not surrender. Humanity adapts. Humanity prevails. Back on Earth, people watched the news in awe. Civilians cheered, engineers smiled, pilots hugged their friends. Humanity had not just survived, they had dominated strategically and tactically. The planet had stood united, and now the galaxy knew Earth was a force to be reckoned with. In orbit, Anya Petrov returned from her mission. Exhausted but proud, she knew that her actions, along with thousands of others, had changed the galaxy. "We did it," she whispered. "We protected Earth and showed the universe what humans can do." Across the galaxy, the Vorath were forced to retreat completely. Their fleets scattered, their colonies abandoned, their command destroyed. They had underestimated humans, and now the cost was clear. Humanity had shown mercy but had proven their strength beyond doubt. General Marcus addressed the leaders on Earth. "The threat is neutralized. The Vorath have retreated, and the galaxy has seen our power. But this is not a time for arrogance. Humanity's strength comes from unity, courage, and intelligence. We must continue to prepare, to innovate, and to lead with wisdom." Dr. Lena, Ortiz smiled. "We have proven that humans are more than just survivors. We are thinkers, innovators, and warriors when needed. And we fight not out of hatred but for life, for family, and for our planet." Across Earth, people celebrated quietly but purposefully. Factories continued to run, repairing damage and preparing for the future. Pilots trained for exploration as much as defense. Soldiers drilled, knowing the galaxy was watching. Humanity's legacy was not just in surviving, it was in showing that they could stand, united against the greatest threats the stars could bring. In orbit, Commander Riker sent the final message to the Vorath. "Let this be a warning to all. Attack Earth again and humanity will respond with full force. We do not forget. We do not surrender. And we do not fear. Humanity is now a power in the galaxy." The Vorath acknowledged the message. Their silence was filled with understanding. They had miscalculated. They had awakened a force far beyond their expectations, and they would remember this lesson for generations. Back on Earth, Marcus and Lena stood together watching the sunset over the cities. "We've survived the impossible," Marcus said. "We've shown the galaxy what humans can do. But more importantly, we've shown humanity itself. We are capable of anything when united." Lena nodded. "And this is only the beginning. The galaxy will respect us, fear us if necessary, but also know that humans fight with honor, intelligence, and courage. We are the legacy of Earth." In hidden bunkers, orbital platforms, and cities across the planet, humans continued to prepare. They had proven their strength, but they also knew that vigilance was the price of survival. Humanity had become a force of nature, unpredictable, intelligent, and unstoppable. The final victory was complete. The Vorath had been defeated without destroying Earth. Humanity had survived, fought, and triumphed. The planet now stood as a beacon of unity and strength in the galaxy. From orbit, Commander Riker watched Earth shine in the sunlight. "They thought humans were weak," he said, softly. "They were wrong. Humanity has awakened. Humanity is the storm the galaxy cannot ignore. On Earth, people looked to the stars. They had defended their home, shown their power, and carved their place in the galaxy. Humanity's legacy was clear. Courage, unity, intelligence, and adaptability could defeat even the greatest threats. General Marcus Hale spoke one last time to the world's leaders. "We have survived. We have fought. We have won. But we are also a reminder to the galaxy. Attack Earth and you face humanity's wrath. But humanity also stands for life, for unity, and for intelligence. Let this be the legacy we leave behind." The galaxy was listening, and it had learned the truth. Humans were not weak, humans were not afraid, and humans were unstoppable when united. Earth had survived the impossible. Humanity had unleashed its wrath, and now it had earned its place among the stars. The war had ended, but humanity's story was just beginning.